unloving? Is it a sin or is it not a sin? What I want to focus on is this love versus unloving terminology, because I think it's the most compelling and fundamental idea. So the question is what is the objective of casual sex? Some people might say that that's the only way that they can find somebody who's married to find out if they want to marry someone. I would say that you can easily find someone who you want to marry and who you'd be sexually compatible with by having an honest, platonic, scientific conversation about it after first discovering that you have interest in someone already. Like, there obviously, when you talk about more personal stuff like your body and your financial aspects of your life, it should be already, once it's established that you really like someone and you respect them, like you have fundamental core values, and it's like, oh wow, we have this much in common. Would it be strategic and also fun to go through life together and work through life together to pursue those shared interests and to perpetuate that value? And that's, for starters, that's the kind of conversation that's going to happen with people who are actually interested in marriage. They'll be talking about whatever. If they're of a particular religion, they'll be saying that, is this person, they'll be asked, does this person do this for this religion? Are they practicing, right? And it's not about what a person believes. That's a huge problem word. So those are two popular words in the idea of culture and ideas. It's the word believe and the word sin. So the word believe, I want to convert that to the word prefer. So do you prefer marriage? Do you prefer to avoid sex until marriage? Now I want to get into why people actually have sex. Now for men, it's to have an orgasm. The reason I know that, the equation of that, is because if you've had an orgasm, you no longer want to have sex. So that's my logic. And I would also go so far as to say that, when people say, why do guys want sex? Oh, it's because they like vagina. No, it's because they want to get an orgasm via the vehicle of the vagina. And so it's, and more importantly, it does not make Goddess V the focal point of life, which I think it is, which is the labia and the clitoris, the flower, the flower of life, and it's enhanced by, or it's that is affirmed by the idea of eat more veg-ina, which is actually a local to Hawaii phrase, and so basically, part of the problem is people unwilling to love themselves, unwilling to have sex with themselves. To love yourself means to want to spend time with yourself, to want to listen to yourself, to write out some of your personal professional goals and follow them, to give space for yourself, to put on your calendar stuff for yourself. Because if you don't do that, people will inevitably invite you to do other things that you may not want to do as much, but you do because you just say, oh, I'm not busy, I'm not doing anything. That's a problem. Because when somebody asks you if you want to go see a movie, but you don't really want to, or you want to go to a certain restaurant, but you don't really want to, you should be able to say that, God. Yeah. You should be able to say that no, you have other stuff you're doing, or whatever your boundaries are. Loving yourself means having boundaries. For example, the boundaries of no, I don't eat that kind of food, or I don't like that type of music, or that's not my hobby, it's not my interest. So when you're really getting into it and you really know yourself, that is the beginning of love, of self-love. And you can't love somebody else before you love yourself, because when you love yourself, it means like you know what you like, and you're sure of it, and you have that in your life. You're doing what you want, and then only then you can say, this is who I am, and if I want something else, then if I want to love someone, if I'm ready, feel like I'm ready for marriage, then I'll then I will only want someone who has a similar list as me, a similar list of stuff that they're doing. So then the other thing is, have sex with yourself. Now, there's a lot of toys out on the market, both for men and women. For men, there is a pocket pussy, aka personal stroker device, which the best ones I've found to be are the Doc Johnson series. And what I actually do is it has like an extruding rubber part. I cut the rubber part off so that I can get basically more of, penetrate more into it. And it has like ribs, so you can try out different ones of them, but you want to spend some money on these. You want to get one of them. They're about 100 each, or online you can get them for 50 perhaps. But it's the Doc Johnson Celebrity Stroker. This is very realistic. Coconut oil I recommend with it, and also a little water, and it creates for a hyper realistic feel. And so this is what it means to do. Well, a woman wouldn't just play with their clitoris, they'd use dildos and penetrate themselves. Like the idea of waiting for a man to do it or being hesitant to do it is not loving. And what you'll notice is there's a lot of people who seem to have this bias against masturbation and having sex with yourself. But how can you it's like, okay, so if you need another person to feel like you're having sex and to love you, then what that ends up happening is it means that you you end up wanting to compromise. Like, I need this person for this, and so I'm willing to, you know, give them my time and my body and my sex. And that's another thing, is people think that prostitution is only when you give your money to someone in exchange. No, it's everything. And And so, moving forward with that, so yeah, how do we move forward in a strong? So the question is, what are we trying to do? Well, the actual subject of the discussion is casual sex a useful idea, or is it good? And a lot of the proponents of you could call them liberals, or wanting to promote freedom. Freedom is about taking responsibilities. It's the opportunity to have the responsibilities of choice, of being able to choose how hard you work and what you do. But what they do is they misinterpret freedom and think that it's all that freedom is the ability to be self-absorbed and to it's hedonism. But it's like, really, it's part of it is who you surround yourself with. And so, for instance, you'll think the whole world is problematic and perverted if you surround yourself with perverted people. And like, at the moment, a lot of the people I work with are into the sex before marriage. They're into and they're not looking towards the long term, like sustainability. So part of that's my fault. I want you to help you understand that. Another thing I want to mention is that for men, it's really, if you haven't had an orgasm and you're not masturbating, it's really hard to resist a woman. Even if she's not the most attractive, it's hard to resist a woman and to not want to have sex with her, especially if she's, trying to seduce you and like show her your body or touch you. So it's really important not to do that. Yeah. All right, so when you're when a person is seeking casual sex, what it means is they're seeking only a person's body. They're not looking at their soul. They're not looking at committing to someone. They're not looking at who they are in the context of that. All they're doing is operating on that base level of desire. So so So, yeah, all those things considered, it's like and the fact that younger people do it. And here's an interesting one, is that what I've noticed is that it's like it's embarrassing when a person's at a certain age and they're not married. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. So let's go into a smarter place, a place where we can be smarter about the human condition, outsmart the complications. And be in a society that's loving, a society that can trust itself. That's what I want to be in. And how about you? And so my challenge to people is, it's like they'll say things, they won't say things, that they won't really say that, oh, I really want marriage. They'll just say, they're more of a challenging of me and saying that, oh, you're trying to block people from being able to be free. Well, I mean, like, if people are free, like, does that mean they can just do drugs and act crazy and irresponsible? You know what I mean? It's like what is it like? And does what if the freedom, like, if something is like, if they're free, does that mean they should, not worry about who they choose to have a child with, and that they can have a child with, that they can have a child, like, without having to marry, and then society bears the brunt of it when they divorce? I mean, obviously it's more likely that people will separate if they have a child and they're not even married. I mean, they may get divorced even if they have children and they're married, but at least it's less likely than if they're not even married, So, and then another challenge would be, people who, they've already made these mistakes, fine. But the real problem is if they've made the mistakes and they haven't learned the lessons from it, or they're hiding from it and they're not teaching people. Like I talk about my dark past or difficult past. I talk about how I used to be a prostitute to older gay men. I had really low self-esteem, so it's like my confidence to talk about that, and my understanding that may make less women want to marry me, but I would want a woman who would, know what I've gone through and still want me for me. You know what I mean? So this is what, and this is a huge point actually, because it's what a lot of men do. They simp out, and they like let women just talk a bunch. You know how women like to talk too much, and men just like pretend they want to listen to them in order to have sex with them. They pretend to agree with their political beliefs just to want to have sex with them. They pretend that their life is good and that they've had a, good history just in order to, have sex with a woman. They lie to women, in order to have sex with them. So this is like a fundamental issue. And so yeah, thank you for being here with me through these serious moments. It's so important, guys, men, to not associate with women. Like, yes, have a wife, yes, have sisters, that are, yes, work with women if you need to, but don't like sit down and eat with them. Don't talk with them, because everyone knows that, when guys are talking to them, it's probably because they just want to have sex with them. So be conscious of this, and the whole society needs to be re-examined, that's what's going on. Thanks for being here with me. I'm gonna sign off, but we'll be back. And check out my TikTok channel, at Team Shieldheart. It's really having fun with it. TeamShieldheart.org. All right, guys. I'm gonna say aloha. Take care. Yeah, I just released a really great video about that. So thank you guys. Talk soon.